Hello, I'm back for more Stardew Valley cooking, making all of the recipes that you can cook in Stardew in real life. Here are the rules that I have done for my challenge. I like how I have done. I think this is number 21. This is the 21st video on my playlist of these. I know I've kind of combined a couple of recipes into one stream, and there has been one or two that I did a part two on to finish. I think it was the melon cake and the ice cream. Anyway, I've been doing these plenty of them, and I have not come up with an intro other than just saying hello and reading off my rules and then cooking. Usually this is because it's time for me to make dinner and I want to get on with it so that I can eat dinner. Um, yes, I'm an old man. I like making dinner as soon as I'm done with work. Um, but also usually I end up eating at a normal time, like at least like 45. Anyway, I guess it's so it already is like almost 6. Because I went for a bike ride before before I started this. Anyway, the rules that I have given myself for this challenge are I have to use all of the ingredients that are listed in the recipe in Stardew. I can add any additional supplemental ingredients to make it more of a real food, as long as those ingredients are not available in Stardew. Um, if they are in Stardew but not in the recipe, can't use them. Uh, Number 3, as much as possible, create the recipes myself. Usually that just means winging it, um, or making something that I've made before and remember how to make, and just not looking up the recipe or doing it beforehand. Number 4, as much as possible, use sort of local and or foraged ingredients. I have bok choy from the farmer's market. Yippee. Um, as much as possible, take inspiration from the in-game images and descriptions. As much as possible, try to make them actually tasty, even if they are not necessarily pitched as that in their in-game descriptions. And 7, of course, have fun. I'm making Super Meal, which is it's a really energizing meal. I'm gonna also, maybe not on stream, because I did forget to thaw it beforehand, make myself like some fish to go with it so that there's some protein. So, maybe not that energizing if it's kind of more of a side, but whatever. Uh, and it consists of bok choy, cranberries, and artichoke. It sort of looks like there's some other stuff in there in the image, honestly. Like there's green stuff, bok choy, presumably. And I guess the artichokes, those are also kind of green. There's like a yellow thing. That could be the artichoke. Artichokes are kind of yellow sometimes. And then there's little red dots, cranberries, presumably. There's also like a little purple thing. I don't have anything to be that. I don't know what I would use other than beets or red cabbage, and those are not eligible because they're in Stardew. I guess red onion. Don't have any of that though, and I won't be putting it in. Um, this, like many Stardew meals, does not include oil. Uh, and as we all know, my go-to substitution for that is just doing butter. But I feel like that kind of doesn't super go with the vibe of this. This bok choy leaf is kind of torn asunder. I think it got stuck in the in the little veggie drawer door in my fridge. Um, but I don't really feel like butter is the vibe for this. I did already wash this, but I am gonna rinse the bottoms of the things again when they're all up in there. It's so hard to get all the dirt out. Um, it feels not in the spirit of this recipe. To my knowledge, this isn't particularly based on any like existing real dish. Um, that I could take inspiration from. Um, but I was thinking, because I don't. Well, number one, I didn't think to get um like veggie broth to cook the bok choy in, and I was thinking maybe of just like blanching it, like cooking or like yeah, blanching it, like cooking it in salted water. But then it occurred to me because I did get a can of artichoke hearts. Um, I kind of don't know how to use raw artichokes. Like I don't think I've really cooked with those before. I think usually when I use artichokes, I just do cans, and so that's what I got. Um, I was thinking, perhaps instead of draining the can of artichokes, I will use the artichoke water to cook the bok choy in. Um, and my other thought was doing like just like cooking it in soy sauce, but I feel like that doesn't feel like the vibe flavor wise to me. I feel like normal salt is gonna make more sense. I also don't know how salty this artichoke water is, so I will probably actually give that a little try. Does it have salt in it? It does have salt in it. So let's maybe find out how salty this is, and then figure out if we're gonna need to add more. Well, artichoke water. I mean, it tastes like artichoke and is kind of salty. I'll just go with that for to start with, and figure out afterwards if I will need to adjust the seasoning because you are allowed to do that when you cook. I think I'm gonna do it into the pan cold. And then turn it on, let it kind of start to heat up. Throw the bok choy in, throw the artichoke in, and then I have dried cranberries that I think I'm gonna kind of use as a garnish. Um, because that feels like the most sensible way to combine these foods. Um, and while this heats up, I'm going to think about what else I want to use. I feel like it needs some acidity, and I think probably either lemon or lime juice is the way to go, but I don't know which. I think probably lemon. I think lemon makes sense. I think hot sauce does not make sense, though I may throw a little bit of like cayenne pepper in there so that it's got a little bit of spice. Let's see. What if I think coriander could be good. Throw a little bit of that bad boy. Um, Probably oregano. I feel like not basil. I do have like fresh basil right now, but I think it makes more sense to not use it. I feel like that doesn't totally go well flavor wise. Okay, where's my? I got a new thing of it. It's big, so it's not in the little. Is it you? It's you. Salt jar. Okay. Um, the other question is, what do I want to do? I think maybe I will basically like reduce this artichoke water. So I can just use I'll use the wooden spoon. Sometimes I'm like, I pick which one of these I'm gonna do next either because I have a really strong vision or I pick it in and I'm like, okay, let me think about this and like get a really strong vision for how I'm gonna cook it. Sometimes, like this time, I have kind of a general idea of what I'm gonna do together. This seems like it's probably warm enough for me to start popping bok choy into. Um, Other times, I pick something and I get the ingredients that it says to have and put no thought into it whatsoever until I actually start cooking it and I really wing it. Sometimes I do that and I realize, oh, you know what would have been very smart is if I thought about this beforehand and thought to get some other, additional ingredient. Um, okay, I'm gonna slice these artichoke hearts, artichokes, if you will, just kind of in half, I think, is the move. We'll throw those in once the bok choy is kind of wilted and cooked a little. Maybe I should have thrown the wheat parts in first and let those cook for a little bit and then added the leaves, but I usually just kind of um, do bok choy all together and it comes out good. I think I've maybe mentioned this before, but I think bok choy is my favorite veggie. Kind of nice texture, very easy to just kind of throw together and cook. And I feel like it does like a pretty good job of like absorbing sauce when you cook it in it. I say as I cook this bok choy in a plain artichoke water. It's fine. It's gonna get seasoned. Also pepper, obviously. Gotta gotta do pepper. Um, yeah, my sort of planning ahead and inspiration on this one was really just like how to like what form of each of the ingredients do I think makes sense. Like I'm like, oh, I should cook the bok choy and cook the artichokes so that those are hot, and then just kind of sprinkle uh cranberries of the dried variety on top. Also, kind of because like I know usually when you cook cranberries from like whole ones, you want to add some sugar because they're all bitter, and I can't add sugar. I did get sweetened dried cranberries because I couldn't find unsweetened ones. Um, Probably for that very reason. But that feels more acceptable by my rules than like sweetening my own cranberries. Um, Really, what I should probably get as sort of a sugar slash honey workaround is like agave syrup. Because I believe that does not. I think it's agave that the sweetener comes from. I'll have to look into it. My dad for a while was really into agave syrup. I think he would like sweeten his coffee with it. Um, but I have not used or seen or thought about it in a while. Actually, maybe I've seen it at like when I get like club soda or whatever from the sort of mixers section of the grocery store. But I have not paid mind, I guess we could say, to agave syrup and whatnot. I also don't even know how many more things I even have left where that would be a concern, though. Like, because we already did bread, we figured out that it can happen without anything. It just doesn't really brown. It looks a little sad. Um, and I think all the desserts call for sugar. Makes sense. Usually it's either like milk or egg, I think, that is the kind of thing that normally you would put in it that is not allowed in this context. Okay, let me start seasoning this. I'll be honest, I don't have a plan for it. I'm just gonna start with a bunch of pepper. This feels like something that will be good if it's nice and peppery. I actually kind of do wonder if it would make sense to throw just like a little bit of butter in now, like not as like the thing to cook it in, but just add a little bit of. That actually probably would be smart. This is like there's like not fat in this recipe so far. The question is, do I have any unsalted butter, or did I use that up? I think I used it up. Okay, salted it is. Let me put that on my grocery list. I've been in a cake making mood lately, but I have not made cakes. I just have a bunch that I'm like, ooh, I gotta get around to making that. And I keep, instead of making cakes that I've been wanting to make, I just keep going to Trader Joe's and being like, oh, well, if I'm here getting one or two things, maybe I'll just get one of the little mini sheet cakes. Because those are pretty tasty, especially the like vanilla ones. Have I even used this yet? Do I need to get a little thingy off? I sure do. Um, and then I'm like, well, why would I make cake? I've got I've got my little cake. Um, but I need to stop going and getting those for a little while so I can justify making my own cakes. Um, that's what I did. Okay, mix this up, kind of give it a taste test, and see what we're working with. We'll sort of try this broth situation and then add butter. Oh, lemon juice. Gonna throw a little bit of that in there. Um, and I do think I want to bring this to a simmer and let it simmer for a little bit to That's very lemony. I may have added a little bit too much lemon juice. I am definitely known to do that. Yeah, it does now pretty actively taste lemony. Whoopsie. It's okay. I like lemon. Okay, probably just like a big blob of butter is the amount to add, I think, in my heart. And then just sort of let that melt in the liquid. And I think to kind of balance out I wasn't gonna add nutritional yeast, but I think it does kind of help balance out when you add too much lemon juice. So I'm gonna add it. Didn't plan on it, but oh well. That's what I mean by rule three, I think, is make up your own recipes. Uh, can't remember if I've ever mentioned this on the stream on one of these streams before, but I have thought about it sort of on my own time, if nothing else. But I know there's the like Stardew Valley cookbook that you can get in real life, and I think I remember seeing that like either it is not a one to one, here's recipes for all of the recipes you can make, or well, definitely there are some that I've like seen the recipe and I'm like, this would not meet the rules as I set them. Some sort of creature. It's just running through my yard. I don't know what kind. It was maybe cat sized. It could just be a stray cat. But I think usually when I see creatures running around out there, it's either squirrels or deer. Um, oh, you're boiling. Let me make you simmer. Gonna let that simmer for a little bit while I find out if my fish is thawed. Seems like it is. Let's go. Um, I should have put things away. Whoops. Okay, you here. You get opened up. Who's getting my eye? Awesome. Oh man, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna have time for this year. Is going to the corn maze. Actually, they might be open through November. I don't know. I can't remember if it's an October only situation. Got a lot going on the weekends this year, all month. I had something or other the first weekend in October. My friend was in town, and then last weekend, same friend was in town again. We went to near my parents' house and went and saw some music. This weekend in my town, there's like a music festival sort of situation. Then next weekend, I'm I'm going to visit one of my friends, and we are also going to a concert. I was gonna say I'm music maxing, but actually, there have been times that I went to live music events more often than this. Um, when I didn't really have anything else going. Was bored all the time, like last summer. Uh, but and then the following weekend, that's Halloween, baby. I got my this, you know, got my Halloween party. Slash, the weekend then is no longer actually October because Halloween's that Friday. Um, all this to say, it didn't even occur to me to try and find a time to go to the corn maze with people, which is a shame. That's usually fun, but it's okay. I can go another time. Next year, hopefully. Hopefully, not all my friends move away. Um, I should add pepper to this because I forgot. I never get the amount right when I make like a seasoned cornstarch situation to coat like tofu or fish in. Let me get out for this. I was gonna use the lid, the wok, but I didn't, so I put it away. Ugh. Be niceties to me, please. What are you stuck on? There we go. Okay. You are heating up. The fish is not a Stardew recipe. The fish is just I had some frozen tilapia and I'm gonna pan fry it. How is this now? Good. I think it does need more of something. And I can't decide if it's salt. I may just add a bit more. I think it's good on the cayenne. I don't want, I feel like this is not a particularly spicy sort of dish, so I think just like a little bit so that it's not like, not like bland levels of mild is sort of the move. Uh, so the leafy parts of the bok choy are getting quite wilty, so I feel like it's probably mostly ready to be finished. I did want to actually taste test a vegetable from here. It's not just broth itself. Hi, bok choy. Come here. Yeah, I think it does need a little more salt. Like the broth is, I think, a good level of salty, but the veggies themselves are a little bit undersalted. So hopefully, if I add more now, it will go into the veggies and not just be like, now the veggies are bland and the broth is too salty. But I think it'll be great. Okay, and you're probably pretty warm, right? Yeah. So Oil you up. Dredge this fish. Oh, yeah, I think I started to say this and then did not finish saying it. Got distracted. Um, but I feel like when I make um like a cornstarch and seasonings um coating for tofu or fish, I never make the right amount. Like I always usually I make too much and there's like some left over in the bowl. And I'm like, come on, what do you want me to do with this? Um, Sometimes I don't make enough, and then it's really embarrassing. And I have to to make more. Uh, but I feel like that hasn't run. Actually, I started saying that and being like, oh, I don't know how to do the right amount of whatever. But I did like literally yesterday, I think do like just the right amount for some tofu. So maybe I should believe in myself more. Okay, I think that super meal is good. I think we're done cooking that. Gonna put some in a bowl and then flip this fish over. And not remember if I got out. I didn't take it out. Anything. Okay. Two up. Cramming the berries. It's actually kind of been a while since I've had any like dried berries, cran or otherwise. I think this is a fourth sort of food, but I am a fan of dried cran. Ooh, I should use the rest of those in some like oatmeal cookies. Um, super meal. Oh, and my computer's gonna die soon, so good timing. Let me try and get a little bit of everything. Cranberry me. That bite was half an artichoke heart and a chunk of bok choy and a cranberry, and it was very artichokey, which sort of makes sense. I may throw some more cranberries on here. Um, yeah, I think the like little bit of sweetness from the cranberries does go pretty well. I don't know that I feel like it's like the most necessary. Like I feel like kind of with bok choy and artichoke hearts is not a bad combination, but not bad. I like bok choy and artichoke hearts separately, so it makes sense that they'd be all right together. Um, Yeah, that. You done? I can't tell. Let me get in there. You cooked? No, you're not. Okay, keep going. Um, anyway, that is super meal. Um, that, thanks for watching. Where's my stream end button? There's my stream end button. Bye.